af sporten. Vi er stolte af, at vi i dag kan præsentere alle de 3 danske OL-finalister fra Tokyo, nemlig Katrine Dufour, Karina Kasø-Krydt og Nanna Skodborg Miral, samt vores OL-reserve Charlotte Herning. Vi skal også se den dobbelte OL-finalist Anna Kaspsak og tidligere Danmarksmester Lone Bang Larsen til start i World Cup-feltet. Feltet rummer selvfølgelig også flere store internationale navne, så I kan godt glæde jer. Der er ikke noget, der er afgjort, før sidste ekvipage har hilsdag. Så kære publikum, find jeres pladser om lidt.
Hello and a very warm welcome to the FEI World Cup Dressage here in Herning in Denmark. The FEI World Cup is the most prestigious individual competition in the international dressage calendar. A truly global series that started in 1985 that covers 4 leagues across the world, including the Pacific, the North American, the Central European, and the Western European League. The best 9 athlete and horse combinations from the Western European League will qualify for the final, which is being held in Leipzig in Germany in April next year. The riders will have 9 chances of qualifying in 9 countries over the next 6 months. But first up, we welcome you to the opening leg of the Western European League here in Herning. We have a fabulous lineup of 14 horse and rider combinations coming forward this evening for the short Grand Prix. We will have a look at the start list in just a few moments' time. I'm Natasha Baker and I am so excited to be watching with you today. We have some horse and rider combinations from the Olympic Games earlier this summer in the Tokyo Olympics. Also, the European Championships just last month. The 14 riders coming forwards today will go forward to tomorrow's freestyle, and they will be looking to earn valuable points towards qualifying them for the finals in April next year. You can see the crowd is building. It's great to see crowds back at sporting events after a really difficult few years with the global pandemic. We've got to sell out for the freestyle tomorrow night. It's going to be so exciting. This is the first time that they've used the short Grand Prix. It's been used for all of the World Cup qualifiers in the Western European League this season. It's been trialled for a couple of years at London Olympia. It has now been rolled out to all of the 9 legs. You'll notice today that the test is packed full of challenges with steep half passes, tempi changes on the centre line. The test is actually 2 minutes shorter than that of the full Grand Prix. As I said, the riders will be going forward to the freestyle tomorrow. The winner of that will pick up 20 points, 17 for second, 15 points for third, and then they go on a rolling scale down the leaderboard. The competitors are able to compete in other leagues to pick up some extra points. Here is the competition schedule. You can see there 9 legs, and then the final there in Leipzig in the 10th of April 2022 next year.
So it's over to you. The judge's seat is yours.
Make sure that you sign up for spectator judging. You can download it on the App Store or on the Play Store. This is the Western European League standings at the moment. So you can see these riders have picked up points in other leagues. So those with 20 have had a win in another league from another country. Lots there picking up 20, a few on 21, and then you can see there the top 2 riders on 29 points.
tonight, lying in 6th place with 20 points. And Frederick Vanders also is here, another rider lying on 6th place with 20 World Cup
It
points.
really is all to play for. The only rider that has got their golden ticket to the finals is Isabel Wert. She was the World Cup champion from the last time out. We didn't actually get a finals last year, so she's the winner from the finals the year before.
At M, Elke Ebert from Germany, and at B, Hans Christian Matthias.
Ja, og vi starter altså om et kort øjeblik i FEI World Cup Grand Prix præsenteret af Blue Horse.
So we have 5 judges around the arena for you today. The judge at E is Mariette Sanders-Wangenswinkel. Oh, here we see a starting order. So first rider to go is Anna Kasprak, Rockstar 13. Then our number 2 in the world, Catherine Dufour, riding Utter Up Guards Cassidy. She picked up 2 medals at the recent European Championships. And then down there, Nana Merald, she was at the Olympic Games in Tokyo this year. Dinja van Leer riding Hermes, she was also at the Olympics, as well as Carina Casacruz down there at the end of today's list. So just going back to the judges. The judge at H, Maria Kollinder from Finland. The judge at C, Peter Storr from Great Britain. At M, Elke Ebert from Germany. And the judge at B for Denmark, Hans Christian Matheson. So we welcome the first rider of the first leg of the Western European League, riding this, the Grand Prix, the short Grand Prix. Anna Kasprak, she is 32 years old. She is representing Denmark. She's riding Rockstar 13, 13-year-old gelding by Rockwell, an established partnership at this level since 2017. Together they competed here in Herning at the 2018 World Cup qualifier, finishing 7th in the Grand Prix and 6th in the freestyle with 75.14. Last time out was at the CDI 4-star just last month in Aachen, where they were on the podium with a second in the Grand Prix with 73.935. So we welcome into the arena the first rider for the Grand Prix, Anna Kasprak and Rockstar 13. Nice entry, a very expressive horse. Covering great ground, very elegant. Tracking up nicely in the extended trot there. Showing great ground cover. Good steps in the half pass, getting 7s from most of the judges there for that. Like I said, really steep half passes. Interestingly, this short Grand Prix has the half pass going to the left first rather than in the long Grand Prix where it goes to the right. So very different for the horses to get used to, and for the riders also. Good steps in the rein back, nice and clear. Lovely activity in the passage. Just lost a little bit of that activity in the piaffe there, just became a little flat. Lost the fluency somewhat in the transition into the walk. A very short section of walk in this test. Showing good relaxation. Very tight turn onto the 3/4 line and then straight into the half passes. As I said earlier in my intro, it's a very compact test, lots of challenges. So 6 steps each way in the half passes. Or just a I think the changes, there was a mistake at the beginning which has really brought that down. However, they just lacked a little bit of purpose for me. I just want to see that snap and that impulsion coming from the hind leg. Now the ones on the centre line. Could have maybe been straighter. Picking up 7s from the judges for that. Great ability to take the weight on that hind leg and the pirouettes there. And lovely difference shown in the extended canter. Again, just lost the fluency in that transition back into the trot. So down the final centre line. Lovely activity in the passage. Oh, just backed off slightly then. Nice and on the spot in the piaffe. But better there towards the end, just had one step at the beginning which went slightly back, but then actually regained the activity really beautifully. Oh, a little stumble. And just left that left hind leg out there in the final halt, but a great job there for Anna Kasprak. Our first experience of the short Grand Prix. She seems pretty happy, giving a wave to the crowd, just waiting for some scores to come through. Now remember, they've taken away the collective marks in the straight tests now, so the judges are just giving an overall general impression which has a double coefficient. So there's no more pace marks, no more activity marks, no more rider marks. It's just an overall impression. And here we go, 71.263, 72% there from the judges at E and M. We can just see some of the highlights. The lovely 2-time tempies across the diagonal there. Just that little mistake at the beginning which would have cost them quite dearly. And again, these pirouettes really picking up some marks. Got an 8 there from the judge at C. Really covering the ground beautifully in the extended canter. Everything comes up so fast in this short Grand Prix. Grand Prix is obviously the ultimate challenge for the horse and rider. But now into the arena, the next rider, and it's another one for Denmark. It is Catherine Dufour. She's 29 years old, ranked number 2 in the world. She's riding Utteropgard's Cassidy, an 18-year-old gelding by Caprion. A very established partnership that have been no stranger to the podium over the years, having competed at 2 senior Europeans and the Rio Olympic Games together. The pair have picked up team silver in the 2017 Europeans and 3 individual bronze medals. Catherine also partnered Cassidy for Junior and Young Rider European Championships, medaling every single time out. What can they do here today? Into the arena, the wonderful Catherine Dufour and utter up guards Cassidy. Catherine's had a very busy year. She represented Denmark at the Tokyo Olympic Games, where she was third in the Grand Prix. And then she picked up a bronze and a silver at the European Championships individually on her talented young horse Bohemian. Cassidy looking so well for his age. Lovely ground covering extended trot. Catherine was saying to me just last week that she found it difficult getting her head around doing the half passes to the left first. Lovely crossing there though, keeping the activity beautifully. Lovely change of bend, really supple in the half passes. Lots of 8s on the leaderboard. Just dropping the shoulder and the rein back. And this is where this horse really excels in the passage and piaffe work. Just finds it so easy. Lovely activity there. I always find with all of Catherine's horses, they're always in such a beautiful soft frame. The outline never changes. Lovely steps of walk, great relaxation. Good over track there as well. So a really short section of walk, and this is where you can see how tight that turn is in the canter. And then heading into the canter pirouettes. So 6 strides each way. Starts with a 3 and then 3 lots of 6s and then finishing on a 3. Lovely and fluent there. And on the centre line with the canter pirouettes, again finding those very easy. So her last 5 tests, the one Tempe scored 6.8 average from the judges. She picked up some 9s for her pirouette and a 9 for her one-time flying changes as well, and another 9 for that last canter pirouette there. The score is creeping up. Wonderful uphill active passage. Just such a wonderful picture. Really able to carry that weight through the hind leg. No wonder why they've been such a successful pair. Square hold to finish.
Oh, yes.
Fantastic job there from Catherine Dufour. It's going to be a big score, and it's certainly going to put her into the lead. The crowd are cheering along. Cassidy looks absolutely thrilled with himself. Their last appearance together was actually in February 2020 at the Gothenburg World Cup qualifier, and they took the win in the freestyle there and third in the Grand Prix. Let's see what they can do here. There's the score, 77.553 into the lead. A 79 from the judge there at E, 74 from the judge at H. Bit of a difference there. C and M both on 77%.
World Cup class here.
Fantastic job. Catherine is always so polished, rides such a thoughtful test. As I said, the frame just never changes. So beautifully and soft and supple. You would never know that this horse was 18 years young. So the spectator judging, powered by SAP, they gave 76.564. Next into the arena, it's the first rider for Sweden, Jenny Larsson, 41 years old, rank 562. She's riding Zircon Spring Flower. 17-year-old KWP Engelding by Painted Black. A formidable partnership that have been at International Grand Prix since 2013. The last time out they won at the Central European League qualifier in Tallinn in Estonia, picking up some valuable points towards their campaign. They scored 71.079 in the Grand Prix and 75.045 in the freestyle. They actually had a break from internationals between 2016 and now, but they are back out and they are on top form. So our first rider into the arena for Sweden, Jenny Larsson, riding Zircon Spring Flower. Not quite square in that first halt. The judges at E and B will definitely see that from their angle. Really covering the ground there in that extended trot. Just got a little bit quick for my liking. Just like to see it a little slower and taking the weight. You can just see there a bit of tension in the horse's mouth. Lovely angle in the half pass though, and really good crossing. Again in this half pass, horse's mouth is open. I think the judges are picking up. You can see some 6.5s. And again, just leaving that right hind leg out. Wonderful steps in the passage. Again, some tension there creeping in the piaffe. You could see the horse just hollowing in its back, just behind the saddle. You want to see the horse's back come up and then really take the weight, keep that activity nicely. You could see him just hollowing through the back and really showing that in the neck. Lovely and relaxed in the walk. As she prepares for the canter. A lovely fluent transition up into the canter. So I'm enjoying the half passes to the left. I just think the half passes to the right just need a little more suppleness for the higher marks. Obviously, us dressage riders are perfectionists, and a lot of these movements are double coefficients. So although it's a much shorter test, much more compact, they actually carry more weight than that of the Grand Prix. Good two-time changes. And again, lovely and uphill in the canter pirouette there. Nicely straight on the centre line. That's a real test for the riders. We normally see the one-times on the centre line in the Grand Prix Special. Just having a little problem with the contact there, the horse just shaking his head. That's a shame, because then she had to then ride the pirouette a little on the large side. The first canter pirouette was given 7s and 7.5, whereas she was on 6 and 6.5 there for that second one. Again, the lovely, lovely passage work. Definitely a highlight for this horse. But there again, the tension just creeping in. You can really see the horse's mouth open, just hollowing through the back. But then back into that gorgeous passage. Oh. Just a little break there, but there we have it.
Yes,
Wonderful
yes,
test.
Jenny Larson.
There from Jenny Larson and Zircon Spring Flower. She's got a big smile on her face. Some really, really lovely work. Definitely the highlights for me was the passage and that first canter pirouette. Beautifully ridden. Just a bit of tension sometimes, especially you could see in the Piaffe, just with that mouth open. Here we go, 68.026 for Jenny, 66 from the judge at B, a couple of 67s and a couple of 69s there from the judge at H and C, putting her into third place. That's just there, you could see the mouth open. That's just for me when the tension just crept in. And that would have just brought that score down, unfortunately. But picking up a lot of 8s through there. The spectators giving 66.456. Hope you're playing along at home with the spectator judging app. You can be one of the judges around the arena. See how close you are to their scores. Just download from the App Store or the Play Store. Next into the arena, it's a rider from Germany, Ingrid Klimke, and Franziskus, the 15-year-old, Franziskus 15, a 13-year-old Hanoverian stallion. This lady needs no introduction. She is an equestrian legend. Voted Pied and Bloodstock FEI Best Athlete in 2019 and 2020 for good reason. She's won 10 gold medals, 4 silvers and 2 bronze medals during her eventing career, but also, like her father, competes in international dressage. This partnership have been in the international whiteboard since March 2020. However, they picked up a win at the 4-star in Dortmund with 75.218 in the Grand Prix. They've had a fantastic season in 2019, winning in Wiesbaden CDI 4-star with 74.261 in the Grand Prix and 80.680 in the freestyle. In fact, they've never dropped below 71% for the whole season. So into the arena now for Germany, Ingrid Klimke and Franziskus 15. This is their first World Cup together. A wonderfully striking stallion. Beautifully soft through the body. You can really see him moving over his back. Lovely, lovely steps in the extended trot. So loose. And again, beautifully supple in the half pass. Good crossing steps. Picking up some 8s there for the half passes. And a beautiful square hold, just like the one at X at the beginning. Wonderfully elegant horse. Gorgeous long legs. Good activity in the PF. Could have maybe been a little more fluent for the really high marks. Wonderful relaxation into the walk. Not the biggest over track in the walk, but nice and correct. You can see there the insight. She scores her best marks in the canter phase. So the best is yet to come. Can she challenge Cassidy and Catherine for the top spot? Again, lovely and supple in the canter half passes. Just lost a bit of the smoothness at times. Just brought the scores down, 7 to 6.5s there from the judges. Lovely and uphill in the flying changes. Again, there is just no tension here whatsoever. Oh, whoa. Little spook there. Well ridden by Ingrid. That did not faze her at all. That will, however, bring down that general impression score at the end. You can see how costly that's been. 3s and 4s from the judges there. However, that was for the down the centre line and pirouette to the right that she got those 3s and 4s, and then picked up those marks again for the flying changes down the centre line. Takes a really cool head to not let that affect you. And with all of Ingrid's experience, that really shone through in that moment. Nice and on the spot in the PF. Oh, just dropping her there a little. Well corrected by Ingrid, and another beautiful square hold to finish their test. Ingrid Klimke and Franziskus 15. So well ridden there by Ingrid. She really is such a master. You can see the horse there just getting a little tense as he did coming down that centre line. A reassuring pat from Ingrid. A wonderful, wonderful rider. No surprise with all of the medals that she's won. There you can see the relaxation in the walk. Super marks coming through. Spectators are on 72.892. But what are the judges going to be rewarding this partnership? 71.263, and into second, a couple of 69s and 3 72s there from the judges. Very consistent across the board. Lovely canter pirouettes. It's such a pity because she was sitting around the 74 mark until that big spook. A beautifully soft horse, wonderfully supple, beautifully ridden. So next into the arena, we welcome another rider for Denmark, Charlotte Herning, ranked 55th. She is riding Bufranco, a 15-year-old gelding by Negro. This pair have been hot off the back of the European Championships, where they helped Denmark secure the team bronze with 70.7 in the Grand Prix. They qualified for the special and they finished with 71.018 for 24th place. Fabulous start to their championship career. In May this year, they finished 6th in the Grand Prix at the CDIO 5-star in Compiègne with 73.435 and 5th in the freestyle with 76.110. Charlotte came up through juniors where she won 2 bronze medals and team gold in 2004 with her horse Pink Floyd. And now into the arena for Denmark, Charlotte Herning and Bufranco. Lovely picture there, keeping the pole up. You can see there her career best from 2021. Around the outside of the arena, this horse was looking quite tense. However, he's keeping it all together here in the arena. Just like to see him a little bit more relaxed. You can see he's on the edge of tension. It's so hard in the sport where you want that expression and that flamboyancy and the power, but it's such a fine balance between that power and having the horse a little too hot and explosive. Good steps in the passage. Lovely activity in the Piaffe. Actually, the Piaffe picking up 3 8s there. Really picking her score up. Lovely activity in the walk, great purpose. Good fluent transition into canter as well. I'd like to see a bit more of an uphill frame here in this canter half pass. Lovely changes of bend, but just dropping the pole slightly. Good clean two-time changes. From this angle, there looked like there was a bit of swinging. Lovely uphill canter pirouette there. Very smart. The canter really picking up now. Seeing lots of 7.5s on the scoreboard. Enormous amounts of power in the extended canter. So the final centre line, she picked up some great marks for her passage and her piaffe earlier, and this is looking just as good, if not better, I'd actually say. Lovely activity. Can she keep it for the piaffe? Super. Nicely on the spot. 7.5 from all of the judges for the transitions there and for the passage. A fabulous test there from Charlotte Herning and Buffranco. Where is that going to put her on the leaderboard? She seems super happy. I wasn't quite sure how this was going to go at the beginning, because around the outside the horse looked quite tense and on the edge. However, he really went in there and focused, and Charlotte gave him a fantastic ride. Score there, 72.763. 74 from the judge at B, a couple of 72s, a 71 and a 73 from the judge at C, putting her into second place.
It's 73.465.
A great score there for Charlotte and Buffranco. Lovely, expressive flying changes there. Great air time in those, lots of suspension. And again, you can see there just how much power he's got from the hind leg. And lovely activity in the passage there on the final centre line. Next into the arena, it is a rider for the Netherlands, Marleen van Boorlen, 31 years old and ranked 46th. She's riding the Totalist Son Go Legend. He's 10 years old. Another partnership that have been busy but had a successful year. Marleen and Go Legend competed at both the Tokyo Olympic Games and the European Championships in Herning last month. Together they were 20th in the Grand Prix and the Special in Tokyo with 71.615 and 71.292 respectively. Then in Herning they finished 21st in the Grand Prix with 72.531 and 26th in the Special with 69.377. Partnership very much on the rise, with Go Legend only being 10 years old. They're surely a partnership that are going to enjoy a lot of success in the future. So, starting their test for the Netherlands, Marleen van Boorlen and Go Legend. Good start there for Marleen. Could have maybe seen more from the hind leg in the extended trot. It was very expressive in the forelimb. Would have just liked to have seen more coming through from the hind leg. Lovely angle here in the half passes though, and nice and supple. Great crossing. Not quite on C there, halted a little early. Yeah, the judges have picked up on that as well. 6 from the judge at C, 6.5 and 2 7s there from the judges at E and B. Wonderful transitions. We could see from the insights while I was doing my intro that her transitions really pick up high marks, and you can see why. Really lovely and uphill in the piaffe. I think the transition from passage into the piaffe was actually a little smoother than that of the one coming from the piaffe into the passage. No clear overtrack there in the extended walk, and interesting how the judges have marked that. We've got a 4 from the judge at C and a 5 from the judge at H, who've obviously picked up on it. And then 6 and 6.5s from the other judges, and the collective walk has been marked fairly similarly. Good in the counter zigzag, nice and fluent, good changes, and this is looking smart as well in the 2 times. Lovely forward changes, really using the whole diagonal. I think a little mistake crept in there. We've got some 4.5s and 5s there from the judges for that line. Let's see how she does with these 1s. Very nice 1 times. Again, a great clear difference shown there into the extended canter. Got to remember this horse is just 10 years old. Such a talented horse. Very expressive like his father. Again, a lovely transition from the passage into the piaffe, and so on the spot, really keeping great activity and a better transition there out back into the passage. Lovely picture there, lovely and uphill. And a great square halt to finish. Marleen van Baarle and Go Legend. A big smile there for Marleen. Oh, just getting a little hot coming out of the arena there. Doing a good job handling him. So what is the score going to be? I feel like through the test he just relaxed and really came into himself. 71.737 into third place, 69 from the judge at C, 73 from E and B, and 70 and 71 from the judges there at H and M.
On the SAP Spectator app, we have 72.345, so good start there for our 4 riders from the Netherlands.
Great steps here in the canter half pass. And the 2-time changes there, you could just see before it paused, there was the mistake there in the changes. So the last rider before our short break. This is the first time I've been watching a whole class of this short Grand Prix, and my goodness, they really are short. It goes very fast. Frederik van Dres, 34 years old, ranked 21st. He's riding Bluetooth OLD, an 11-year-old Oldenburg gelding by Bordeaux. A new partnership. They made their international debut in Mannheim CDI 4-star in April this year. They had 2 wins in August in San Marin 3-star with 71.674 in the Grand Prix and 73.192 in the special. In Aachen just last month, they scored their personal best of 72.587 for 7th in a very competitive Grand Prix. So into the arena, another rider for Germany, Frederik van Dres and Bluetooth OLD. This is definitely a partnership on the rise. Bluetooth was actually previously ridden by Ingrid, who we saw earlier this evening. She rode him in 2018. Lovely steps in the extended trot, equally matched with the hind leg and the forelimb, really nice and active in the hind leg. And gorgeously supple changeover of the bend in the half passes. Again, another beautifully elegant horse. Oh, just again going onto the shoulder there in the rein back. Just clipped aboard. Just some fluency issues in the Passage Tour there. Wonderful in the walk, beautiful relaxation, really using his body and his back through the walk. Great ground cover. So we come into the 2-time changes. Oh, mistake There in the twos, that's going to be very expensive. Just for me today, there's just a few fluency issues, and obviously the pair are such a new partnership. It's almost like they're just getting a few little muddles with the communication at times. Score just dropping down to 69. But that's when you can really see the power in that extended canter. Good transitions shown. You could see a clear difference from the working canter into the extended canter. And lovely steps in the passage. Again, that's just where he's going to be losing marks in the fluency of that transition into the piaffe. Slightly better there back into the passage. Everything is most certainly there. It's just polishing it up a little. Great job. So beautifully well ridden there by Frederik von Dres. And the wonderful Bluetooth OLD. As I said, just a few fluency issues for me that's prevented them from getting the 8s and the 8.5s. There you can see a lovely extended trot, beautifully from the hind leg. And again, a lovely clear overtrack in the walk. 70.658 and into 6th. 68 from the judge there at H, up to 73.158 from the judge at M. The others sitting around the 70 and 71.
The SAP spectator app, you've gone even better. 71.8.
A little stumble there, just lost the balance in the one-time changes. But super canter pirouettes. There's some really, really lovely work in the test, and obviously it's such a talented horse. I really think with a little bit more time to polish up a few of those times just where the fluency was lost, he's going to be super. So here you can see the leaderboard. Catherine Dufour and Atterupgar's Cassidy out in front with 77.553. Marlene Van Borlen in third, 73.737. Ingrid Klimke there in fourth, equal fourth with Anna Kasprak from Germany and Denmark, 71.263. Frederik there that we just watched in sixth for Germany, 68, and Jenny Larson and Zirkun Spring Flower in seventh with 68%. So we just take a short break now. We will be back with you at 8:12 Central European Time. So grab yourself a cup of tea and join us back for the second half of this short Grand Prix World Cup qualifier.
Expectations. Always searching for new ways to improve. Details to push you even further. Push you beyond talent. Beyond skills.
Oh, you wouldn't believe it.
Beyond limits. Beyond dreams.
Plus Horses er din ven og partner inden for heste til topsport og avl. I vores arbejde med hestene fokuserer vi på styrke og udholdenhed, hvor frihed og det naturlige hesteliv er i højsædet. Det er tilpasset hestens temperament og personlighed, så vi får det største potentiale frem i hver enkelt hest. Igennem mange år har vi høstet international anerkendelse for kvaliteten og grundigheden af vores avlsheste. Rejsen starter helt fra de er født. Her er de i gode hænder og bliver passet og plejet i top træningsfaciliteter og store foldarealer med naturen i baghaven for at give dem de bedste betingelser for at udvikle sig. I Plus Horses bruger vi kun de førende teknikker og eksperter inden for hesteavl. Alt sammen for at kvalitetssikre, at vores heste får de bedste muligheder, når det kommer til daglig træning og restitution, samt massage og afspænding. Frihed og et naturligt hesteliv er det, der skaber de bedste heste. Velkommen til Plus Horses.
Den forarbejdes fuldstændig som en vægtjernsko. Man banker på den og tilpasser den, sliver den fuldstændig som du specielt normalt, og den bliver slået på med sød. Husk, at støderfunktionen er meget vigtig for hestesving. Meget vigtig. Ølovsskolen er fuldt dokumenteret og god for din hest. Hvad vil du vælge?
Just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it. The way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it. The way you like it now. So good, so fresh.
Du hast gelernt, allein im Büro zu tanzen. Aber schöner ist es, gemeinsam wieder zu feiern. Und gemeinsam mit deinen Freunden bereit zu sein für die bewegendsten Momente im Leben. Almased hilft dir in Bewegung zu kommen und deine Ziele gesund und fit zu erreichen. Almased, die Nummer 1 zum Abnehmen. Mit einzigartigem Aminosäurenprofil, Nährstoffbooster, niedrigem glykämischen Index und aktiven Enzymen.
Foreningen Dressurens Venner uddeler hvert år Lis Hartels mindepris til en person, der har gjort noget særligt for dressuren, ligesom individuelle ryttere kan søge legater. Derudover støtter foreningen events, både for eliten med Danmarksmesterskaberne og internationale stævner på dansk grund. Og på breddeniveau ved Dressurens Venner Koppen, der hvert år afvikles på lidt A-niveau. Foreningen samarbejder blandt andet med Dansk Rideforbund, Hestens Værn og nu også online-portalen Rid Bedre TV, der med korte videoer formidler rideteori fra de dygtigste trænere.
Det tror jeg kan blive rigtig værdifuldt og spændende samtidig. Vi er jo nogle stykker, som synes, at dressur er noget af det mest vidunderlige, der er.
Why are we out here?
We may have already seen our winner here today.
They made it look so easy.
Nothing comes easy. Hard work.
This is going to be very close indeed.
Isolation. Dedication. Expectations.
What's going to happen?
Always searching for new ways to improve.
Det var virkelig, virkelig godt.
Details to push you even further.
What's going to happen?
Push you beyond talent. Beyond skills.
Oh, you wouldn't believe it.
Beyond limits. Beyond dreams.
Good evening and welcome back to the second half of the short Grand Prix for the Western European League, leg 1 of 9 here in Herning, Denmark. We've already seen an amazing 7 combinations come forward for this short Grand Prix. And Catherine Dufour is out in the lead with a very impressive 77.553%. That is the score to beat so far. We have another 7 combinations coming forward to this second half. We have some top names here. Helena Hannenberg, Nana Skodborg-Morald, Dinja van Leer, Carina Casa-Cruz, Timar Vestra. Lots of Olympic names in there. So it really is all to play for in this second half.
So as we rejoin the second half of the competition, the FEI...
They are riding the short Grand Prix. It's the first time this short Grand Prix has been used for all of the qualifiers for the Western European League Grand Prix Freestyle. Here you can see the standings so far. As I said, Catherine out in front with 77.553. That's the score to beat. 14 combinations competing in this short Grand Prix. So all 14 combinations will go forward to the freestyle tomorrow. But first up for the second half of this short Grand Prix is a rider from the Netherlands, Vincent van Gasselt, 37 years old, rank 103, and he is riding Delacruz 1-1. He's an 11-year-old Hanoverian gelding by Dancer. A relatively new partnership to this level. They started at International Grand Prix in August 2020, and their scores have improved every time out. In Aachen last month, they were 22nd in a competitive Grand Prix with 70.282. Fourth in the special was 71.787%, and they helped the Dutch team into second place in the Nations Cup. In Zandhoven CDI 3-star, the pair scored their personal best in the freestyle with 74.955 for third place. So what can they do today? Their scores are on the rise. But in for the Netherlands, Vincent van Gasselt and Delacruz 1-1. This horse is a little powerhouse. Lots of expression, and again only 11 years old. We're seeing a lot of young horses in this class today. Nice expression in the extended trot. Just like to see more suppleness here in the half pass. Nice crossing. Would just like to see more bend. Slightly better here to the right. A little softer over the back this way. Yeah, some 8s this side from the judge there at C. Little progressive into the halt, and because the balance was a little bit strung out, then wasn't able to get a square halt there at C. Good steps in the passage, scoring really well from the judges. A few 8s. Again, the passage picking up really high marks, 8.5, 7.5, as they go into the extended walk. The Piaffe double coefficient, the extended walk double coefficient. So as he's picking up those 6.5s there for the extended walk, that can be quite expensive. You can just see the horse not really having that over track that you would like for those big marks. Yeah, pretty nice in the zigzag. Just feel for me in the canter, it's just lost a bit of that purpose, a bit of that jump. The canter's a little more on the shoulder. Just want to see the horse taking a little bit more weight and coming up and more open through the shoulder in the canter work. Good clean changes on the diagonal in the 2 times. Yeah, mistakes on the 1 times changes there. Very expensive. 3s and 4s from the judges. You can see the mark dropped there down to 67%. But my goodness, wow, that was an injection of power across the diagonal in the extended canter. Very, very clear transitions. Wonderful activity again in the passage. Definitely a highlight for this horse. And this is the purpose that I feel the horse just lacks a little in the canter work. Just not able to maintain that level of straightness and activity in the Piaffe, just dropping it down slightly, but the passage absolutely wonderfully executed there by Vincent. Definitely a high point for them, picking up 8s for the passage. Really, really beautifully ridden by Vincent van Gasselt and Delacroix too. We'll watch back on the highlights now. 68.684 into 7th place, very consistent across the board there. 367s, a 70 from the judge at C and a 69 from the judge at B.
And for the spectator app, here we go.
Good relaxation there in the walk.
Just a little bit hard.
Again, just want to see the horse walking more through its body. And after that pirouette, that's when we saw the mistake in the 1-time changes. 2 pretty nice canter pirouettes there. Really, really sitting down on the hind leg. And that was that hugely expressive extended canter.
Presenting for Denmark with the 11-year-old Romanov mare, Herning Gardens Rostov. 3 international.
So 7th place there for Vincent van Gasselt. Next into the rider, another one for Denmark. Lone Larsen riding Herning Gardens Rostov, an 11-year-old Hanoverian mare, our first mare of the competition so far. They are here in Denmark, hot off their success in Aachen CDI 4-star, where they scored 2 personal bests with 70.413 for 14th 8th in the competitive Grand Prix and 77.605 in the freestyle for a fantastic 5th place. They only started at International Grand Prix this year, having worked their way up in small tour classes. Their scores have improved each time out, so excited to see what they can produce in these whiteboards today. So, in for Denmark, Lone Bang Larsen and Thrain Gardens Rostov. Another big, powerful horse. Good ground covering, extended trot again, showing really nice transitions there, and that picking up some good marks. Lovely and soft in the trot half passes. Showing good clear change from the left to the right. Nice and supple. Again, just lost the fluency coming into the halt, and again the balance was affected and therefore she just couldn't get that square halt, but lovely steps in the rein back. Just going a little onto the shoulder there in the passage and the piaffe. Much better here now. Just losing the rhythm at times. A few 6.5s in there, a few 7s too. Picking up good marks for the transitions. That is such a short, extended walk line. It's really hard to achieve that level of relaxation that the judges are looking for in such a short diagonal. Again, both tours of walk, the extended walk and the collected walk, both double coefficients. Good in the half passes. I think her timing was slightly off. It definitely counted a 5 there towards the end. It's meant to be 3 strides and then 3 lots of 6 and then another 3 to finish on. Good pirouette. Lovely correct one-time changes. Again, everything about this combination is just very, very correct. Picking up so many 7s, so many 7.5s, not throwing away any marks. Walked into that transition, unfortunately. Just lost the fluency coming from the canter, but regained nicely here. This passage looking very smart. Actually improved since she's done the canter. Oh no. Miscommunication then, looked like he was just thinking canter. Much better back into the passage. as they come into their final halt. Lone Larsen and Thrangarden's Rostov for Denmark. Really consistent, lovely work there. As I said, in the canter work, it was so correct, really not throwing away any marks. It was just in those piafs where she lost a bit of the fluency, getting some 5s, some 6.5s for the piaf. That would have been very, very costly, unfortunately, towards the end. But lovely work in the canter, really nice canter pirouettes, super changes. Here's the 2-time changes. Again, if we're being really picky for the 9s and 10s, you would want to see more airtime in the changes. You'd want to see the horse slightly more uphill. But everything about this picture is so correct. He's so on the aids, and there we go, 71.395 into 4th place. Consistent from all of the judges, 2 on 70, 1 on 71 and 2 on 72. So they slot into 4th place.
Spectator app, the SAP spectator app score. Coming up now, 70.
So the spectators giving 70.126. Interestingly, actually, the spectator judging generally is 1 mark below the judges' mark for the last 2 combinations. So let's see what they're going to do for this next rider into the arena. And it's one for Germany. Helen Lange-Hannenberg, 39 years old, ranked 29th. She's riding Annabelle 110. 13-year-old Holstein mare. This partnership had their first championship call-up this year when they competed at the European Championships in Hagen. They helped Germany bring home the team gold medal by scoring 73.960 in the Grand Prix for 16th place. 11th in the special for 75.228 and 14th in the freestyle with 77.214. In January this year, they competed at last season's World Cup qualifier in Salzburg, scoring both of their personal bests of 74.457 in the Grand Prix. They were 5th in the Grand Prix and 81.340 for 3rd in the freestyle. This year, Helen retired her former top horse, Damsey FRH, with whom she enjoyed enormous success with as part of the German team, winning team gold at the Europeans in 2017, as well as being 3rd at the World Cup finals in 2019. She's no stranger to the podium. She was also there with Damon Hill, picking up team silver in London 2012 Olympics, as well as individual medals at the 2014 World Championships and 2013 Europeans. But now, riding Annabelle 110, Helen Lange-Hannenberg for Germany. This mare so beautifully uphill. Nicely extending the frame there in the extended canter, as well as the stride. Again, Helen using all of her experience over the years. Beautiful in the half pass. Great crossing. Again, the mare beautifully soft in a lovely frame. Oh, just stepping back there in the halt. That's a real pity. But good steps in the rein back. Lovely transition into the Piaffe, always maintaining the pole at the highest point. You can really see how her quarters come down and she's really able to take the weight in that Piaffe. And also here in the Passage, lots of 7.5s. Nicely relaxed into the extended walk. Good over track. Nice purpose as well there. Nicely ridden in the canter zigzag. Lovely uphill changes in the 2 times. Is she going to do enough to overtake Catherine out on the lead on 77? She's just sitting behind at the moment. Oh, just losing a bit of the rhythm in the canter there in the canter pirouette. Oh, that's really unfortunate timing, but well ridden by Helen. Again, just maintaining that lovely uphill frame. The pole hasn't dropped at all. This mare just keeps getting stronger every time out. Helen giving her so much confidence in the arena. Wonderful steps of Piaffe there at X. Picked up a 9 from the judge at C. 8s from the other judges. 8s for the transition. Oh, and stepped back into the final halt again, but what a beautiful, beautiful test from Helena Hanberg and Annabelle 110. Have they done enough? I think they've done enough to go into second place. I'm not sure they've done enough to go into the lead. What is their score going to be? The crowd are loving it. A beautiful, beautiful mare. Just naturally built so uphill. 74.921 into second. 76 from the judge at C. 75 from M. 74 from E and B. And then 73 from the judge at H. Putting them just behind Catherine.
73.457, really close.
A lovely, lovely test from Helen there, and this beautiful mare. That's actually their new personal best as well. So a great, great place to do that. That wonderful Piaffe at the end. That was the highlight of the test for me. Lovely transitions from the Passage into the Piaffe and back into the Passage again. Beautifully ridden by Helen. The next into the arena, it's another rider for Denmark, Nana Skobborg-Marold, and Blue Horse Zach, 17-year-old KWPN stallion. Nana has had an incredibly busy season. She competed, Zach, at her first Olympic Games, was 16th in the Grand Prix with 73.168, 18th in the special with 74.210, and they finished 11th in the freestyle with 80.893. She then went on to compete at Arapgaz Ofdelia in the European Championships last month with a top 10 in the Grand Prix and 12th in both the special and the freestyle. She is our youngest athlete in the field at just 28 years old. So for Denmark, Nana Skodborg Merald and Blue Horse Zach. Zach and his previous rider, Daniel Bachman Anderson, won here in 2018 in the freestyle with 83.375. What can Nana do today? A great start, 76.5. This stallion's so elegant. We've seen so many of his offspring competing at International Grand Prix. No wonder why he's such a successful breeding stallion as well as a competition horse. Lovely steps of rein back. Such a compact little horse. So much activity. He is a little pocket rocket. Some nice steps there in the piaffe. Just lost a bit of the fluency in the middle there. Fantastic in the walk. Lovely over track, really relaxed, taking that stretch down. So into the canter work now. This test really does come thick and fast. Oh, a little mistake there in the change in the half passes. Yeah, the judges really picking up on that. Anything from 5 to 6.5 from the judges there. It's a difficult one for the judges to mark because they're marking multiple canter pirouettes. Sorry, not canter pirouettes, canter half passes on the centre line. So one little mistake, they've got 4 flying changes and then the flying change at the end as well. It's a lot for just one mark. Wonderful canter pirouette. And again, another beautiful canter pirouette there. Unfortunately, a little mistake in the one times. So as they come down their final centre line. Beautiful in the passage, wonderful activity. You can really see that great connection from the bit into the hind leg. really compressed together. They create such a wonderful picture. And into a beautiful square halt to finish. So Nana Skopborg-Merald and the gorgeous Blue Horse Zach, they complete their test today.
In the World Cup Short Grand Prix here in Herning. Fantastic.
Again, the crowd clapping along. Such a fantastic horse. As I said, the winner here in 2018 with Daniel Bachmann Anderson in the freestyle. They won the Grand Prix last month at the CDIO 5-star in Aachen with 78.002, their best score in the Grand Prix so far. They then went on to get their best freestyle score of 86.740. They were just pipped into second place by Isabel. Having just started at Grand Prix this year, they've consistently scored over 70, and Hermes shows enormous talent, especially in the piaffe and the passage work. So watch out for that today. So Dinja van Leer and Hermes. Just left a hind leg out there. Lost the balance coming into that first halt. Such an expressive young horse, and just seems to find all of these Grand Prix movements so easy. Enormous crossing in the half passes, really floating across the arena. I think maybe the left half pass slightly better there than the right, just slightly more fluent. Again, just leaving that right hind leg out in the halt. And this is where you can see that talent. Wonderful steps in the passage. And fantastic transitions into the piaffe. Again, he just finds this work so easy. 9s from 3 of the judges for that piaffe. Wonderful seamless transitions. And then to show that relaxation coming from the ultimate collection of the piaffe passage work into an extended walk. Can be hard to get the horses to switch from one to the other so quickly. So just coming out at the moment on top, ahead of Catherine and Cassidy. Can they keep it up in the canter work? It will be the battle of one of the older horses in the field up against the youngest. Experience versus youth. Oh, just missed a change there in the middle. That's such a pity. Just lost the balance and had a little stumble. Yeah, 4s and 5s there. It's just brought her below Catherine. Beautiful pirouette. Can she make up for it in these one-time changes? Oh no, and a mistake at the end as well. Yeah, just creeping down now to 74. That's such a pity with those mistakes in those two lines of tempi changes. Very costly. But we know that his highlight is the Piaffe and the Passage. So can he claw back the marks on this final centre line? Absolutely stunning here in the Passage. Look at the power from the hind leg. Oh, that's definitely commentator's curse. What a shame. It's not going to be enough, I don't think, to overtake Catherine, but she's going to be challenging for second place.
Dina van Leer for the Netherlands.
Fantastic test there from the amazing 9-year-old stallion Hermes, and Dina van Leer for the Netherlands. A lot of 9s on that scoreboard. Just those mistakes in the two lines of tempi changes, and then again there at X for the final Piaffe, and that is her strongest thing. I am so excited to see their freestyle tomorrow, because in the freestyle you can really play on the horse's strength, and I have a feeling it's going to be a good one. 74.921 into second place, 475% there, and 73 from the judge at H. That was that stunning first Piaffe, scoring 9 from 3 of the judges, and lovely and relaxed in the walk, really walking through his body and over his back. Just the mistakes here in the two-time changes, but again, beautiful canter pirouettes as well. This horse has so many strengths, and just 9 years old. We're definitely going to be seeing them a lot in the future. So just 2 more combinations coming forward this evening. Next into the arena, it's another rider for Denmark, and it's another one that we saw at the Tokyo Olympic Games. Carina Casso-Cruz and Helene Dancia, with 3 top 10 results from the Tokyo Olympic Games. This partnership are definitely ones to watch out for. They were 9th in the Grand Prix with 76.677, 10th in the special with 77.249, and an incredible 7th with 83.329 in the freestyle. This beautiful mare, just 10 years old, by Furstenball. So to have had those results at just 10 years old. Again, another wonderful horse that we will look forward to seeing in the future. And especially with Paris only 3 years away. Those 3 years are going to go very fast. So into the arena now for Denmark. Carina Casso-Cruz and Helene Dancia. Beautiful square halt to start. A beautiful, elegant mare again, so naturally uphill. Keeping that pole up and really covering the ground, equally matched from the hind leg to the forelimb. Lovely and loose in the trot. Beautiful reach in the half passes. You can really see her gobbling up the ground. Oh, and into That was a lovely transition. Unfortunately, just left that right hind out and great into the rein back, but so balanced into that transition at halt at sea. Nice smooth transitions. Kept good activity in the piaffe. Wonderful marks in the passage. And again, showing gorgeous relaxation in the walk. Really taking that stretch. Great purpose in the collected walk. There are two marks that are double coefficients, the extended walk and the collected walk, and they can be so expensive. They really can make such a big difference on the overall mark. So when your horse has a really good walk, it's worth making the most of that. Super two-time changes. Good balance in the canter pirouette. Scoring a 9 there from the judge at sea. Oh no. Oh, that's such a pity. 1, 2, another 2, yeah, 3 2s from the judges and a 1 and a 3. Oh, that's really pulled her mark down. She was actually ahead of Catherine and Cassidy there. What can she do for this final few movements? Such an uncharacteristic mistake. Beautiful in the passage. Look at that. Lovely activity. Better transition into the piaffe this time. Travelling a bit, but I think that actually helped the mare. Stunning finish here in the passage. What a test. Yes, absolutely stunning from Karina Castelcruth and Helene Dancira. Absolutely beautiful. Such a shame about that mistake on the centre line with the one-time changes. That was a real pity. She's definitely going to be challenging for a place on the podium tomorrow though. What a beautiful mare. Stunning from start to finish. Wonderful extended trot. Really covering the ground. Beautiful from the hind leg. Wonderfully supple throughout. 75.474 into second place. 78 there from the judge at C, 75 from H, 76 from B, and 73 from E and M. Definitely the passage was a highlight for me, as well as those lovely canter pirouettes. I think if there hadn't have been that issue with the 1 times on the centre line, I think she would have been up there challenging Catherine for a top place, because not only would she have lost marks for that particular movement, but she would have also lost marks for the overall general impression that the judges score at the end. So that's a real pity. The spectators actually pretty bang on it with the marks. The judges giving 75.474, spectators giving 75.967. So incredibly close there. But our final rider to go tonight in the short Grand Prix, it is for the Netherlands, Tamar Vestra. 39 years old, 38 in the world ranking. She's riding Hexagon's Double Dutch, a 13-year-old KWPN stallion by Johnson TN. This combination have had a busy year. This is their 9th international show this season. Last time out in Aachen CDI 4-star, they were 12th in the Grand Prix with 71.348 and 6th in the freestyle with 77.310. They also enjoyed a win in Zandvoort in August in the freestyle with 76.050. So coming into the arena, our final rider for the short Grand Prix, it is Tamar Vestra and Hexagon's Double Dutch. Again, a real little powerhouse, this horse. He certainly stands out. Beautiful chestnut with lots of white. Good crossing in the half pass. Would just like to see him a little more through and over the back in the half passes. Just losing a little bit of suppleness, especially on that first half pass left, I would say. Yeah, scoring better there on the half pass right, the second one. Good steps in the rein back. An expressive little horse, keeping that activity in the piaffe. That's something that I've seen him struggle with in the past. So some nice steps shown today, and again, great relaxation in the walk. This is their 35th start in an FEI World Cup qualifier. That's quite remarkable. Good activity in the collected walk and a good fluent transition into the canter. Keeping that uphill tendency through the canter half passes. Lovely and straight in the tempi changes. Oh, just a little mistake there, just lost the balance. This horse has such a fantastic ability to really sit and take the weight on the hind leg. And you can see that there in the canter pirouette. Good one-time changes. Lovely canter pirouette. Definitely a highlight. He looks like he could do those all day long. And then that's when you can see the power. Could have been maybe a clearer transition back into the collected canter there. Oh, just unbalanced there in the passage. It's offered to the canter. Well ridden, regained the rhythm nicely into the passage. And a good transition into piaffe here. Oh, and a little stumble. That's such a shame. As they come into their final halt, and it's a square one. The final rider for this short Grand Prix, Tamar Vestra and Hexagon's Double Dutch. A stunning little stallion. A wonderful partnership to watch. Their 35th start in a World Cup. Absolutely fantastic. Those canter pirouettes were definitely some of the best that we've seen today. You can see he's such a little powerhouse. Huge ground cover. Just lost a little bit of the suppleness in the first half pass, but this one was nice, going to the right. And then lovely changes. Just had a little stumble. I think it's the next one. But beautiful changes here on the centre line. Wonderfully straight. That centre line with the canter pirouette into the one times and into the canter pirouette. That was definitely my favourite part of their test. Showing so much balance, so much expression, and rewarded with 71.053 and into 11th place. Judges giving, 3 of them giving 71, judge at H giving 70 and E 69.8. So that's it. Our 14 rider and horse combinations have completed their tests. Catherine Dufour out in the lead and took the win, 77.553. Karina Castelcruz in second, 75.474. Dinja van Leer finishing the podium with Hermes and 74.921. Fourth was Helena Hannenberg on the same score, but Dinja won on collectives. Nana Morald into fifth, and then down here you can see Tamar Vestra in 11th, 71, Frederick von Dres and Bluetooth 70.658. Jenny Larson there in 14th with 68.026. Some fantastic tests that we've seen tonight. It's been really interesting to see the short Grand Prix being ridden. It certainly comes around fast. I really actually enjoyed how quick, how fast-paced it was. The riders definitely can't sit on their laurels. We saw a few mistakes creep in, but on the whole, I thought that every single rider executed the test beautifully. I'm so excited for the freestyle tomorrow. We have a lot of riders that are going to be battling it out for those 20 points. The winner will pick up 20 points to go on the league for the Western European League. So it's going to be between Catherine Dufour. We also had top marks from Marlene van Borlen, Helena Hannenberg, Nana Skobog-Morald, Dinja van Leer, Karina Castelcruz. I think it's going to be an all-girl podium tomorrow, but who knows what can happen in dressage. I think for me, the standout performances today was from that wonderful young stallion Hermes. Just that unfortunate mistake in their final piaffe. So expensive, such a shame. But they scored 74.921. And then Karina Casacruz and the beautiful Helene Stancera, 75.474. Helena Hanneberg and the beautiful mare Annabelle 110, 74.921. A beautiful picture there, so uphill, keeping the pole up, a lovely frame. But the winner today, Catherine Dufour and Utter Up Guards Cassidy, 77.553. Number 2 in the world at the moment in the rankings. Our bronze and silver medalist from the European Championships just last month on her young horse Bohemian. But here she rides her horse that she's taken up through the rankings. She took Cassidy from young rider and junior competitions up to senior Grand Prix, winning medals at Europeans. So we just wait for the prize giving now, as we will see the top 8 horse and rider combinations coming forward.
Ja, mine damer og herrer, om et kort øjeblik, så er vi klar til at starte præmieoverrækkelse i FEI World Cup Kort Grand Prix, præsenteret af Blue Horse. Men inden vi kommer så langt, så vil jeg gerne invitere ind på den røde løber Først fra sponsor Blue Horse vil gerne invitere sportschef Ulrik Sørensen ind på den røde løber, sammen med FI-repræsentant Hans Christian Mathisen og overdommer Peter Stor fra Storbritannien og fra Organizing Committee Jens Traberg. I må gerne give dem en hånd, mens de går ind til den røde løber.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our wonderful sponsors, Blue Horse, represented by the Chief of Sport, Ulrik Sørensen, for the FEI representative, Mr. Hans Christian Mathiasen, the President of the Judging Jury, Mr. Peter Storr from Great Britain, and for the Organising Committee, Mr. Jens Travers.
So welcome to the prize giving for this, the World Cup Western European League in Herning 2021. It's the prize giving for the FEI World Cup Grand Prix, presented by Blue Horse. The first time we've seen the short Grand Prix used in the World Cup. So we just wait for our top riders to come through. So into the arena in 8th place, it was Lone Bang Larsen and Thrangards Rostov. 8th place with 71.395. They were representing Denmark today. Fantastic mare, really lovely test. And in 7th place for the Netherlands, it's Marleen van Bolen and Go Legend. Fantastic trot there, so much expression from Marleen. And then into the arena in 6th place, it is Charlotte Herning and Bufranco for Denmark. They scored 72.763. And into the arena now in 5th place, Nana Skopborg Marald and Blue Horsack again for Denmark, 72.947 for a fantastic 5th place. And in 4th is Helen Lannan-Hannenberg and Annabelle 110, 74.921 for Germany. Beautiful test from Helen. So tight between 2nd and 4th place. Really not very many marks in it at all. Such a fantastic competition we've had this evening. So we wait now for the top 3 to come forward to receive their prizes. We have a representative of Blue Horse, the title sponsor for this competition. Then we have Peter Storr, the president of the ground jury, and Hans Christian Matheson, the judge at B for Denmark. And then a representative from the show. But the winner of the short Grand Prix here at the FEI World Cup Western European League is the amazing Catherine Dufour and Utterupgards Cassidy. They scored an incredible 77.553% to take the win tonight. In second place also for Denmark, Karina Kasserkruth and Helene Stansera, 75.474. And in third place for Denmark, Dinja van Leer and Hermes, 74.921.
Vinder af FEI World Cup Kort Grand Prix, præsenteret af Blue Horse. Det er fra Danmark. Det er Catherine Dufour.
So the winner, Catherine Dufour and Utterupgards Cassidy. Whee! He's happy to be in the top spot of the podium. Big smiles from Catherine. Such a wonderful partnership. He's definitely enjoying his moment in the limelight. So there we have the Danish national anthem. Cassidy definitely enjoying his winning moment. Definitely no stranger to this position. A gift bag there from Blue Horse. I think he's rearing up, ready for his lap of honour.
Well, this is such a moment as the presenting party now move forward to congratulate once again. She has done it.
Catherine's called in a groom. Just needs a bit of assistance standing still.
And Utterupgards Cassidy.
He definitely knows what it's all about. He's won so many medals, so many championships over the years. There's Hans Christian Matheson, the judge from Denmark, presenting a plate for Catherine and Cassidy.
Presented by the FEI representative, Mr. Hans Christian Matheson.
And now Peter Storr, the president of the ground jury, presenting Catherine some beautiful flowers, and Jens from the organising committee.
The flowers and sash there being presented by the president of the judging jury, Mr. Peter Storr, and the organising committee member, Jens Travier.
Lots of picture moments here for Catherine. A great moment for the fantastic sponsors of this class, Blue Horse. We couldn't do it without the support of the sponsors that give so much to this fantastic sport that we all enjoy. So there we have it, our winner for the short Grand Prix, Catherine Dufour and Utter Up Guards Cassidy. As we move on to second place, it's Karina Casacruz and Helene Dansera, another rider for Denmark. She's had fantastic success this year in Tokyo for the Olympic Games. 3 top 10 placings and now second here today in the short Grand Prix. 75.474. 2 judges having her actually ahead of Catherine, so very, very exciting for tomorrow to see who's going to come out on top. Well done there to Catherine and Karina. And then on to Dinja van Leer for the Netherlands and the wonderful Hermes. A beautiful stallion. Definitely a rising star. 74.921%. Just 9 years old, this wonderful stallion. A stunning, stunning test. Not mistake-free, but again, that makes it all the more exciting, A, for the future, but B, for us to watch the freestyle tomorrow. So there we have it, our top 3 from the short Grand Prix. It has been a phenomenal evening for dressage.
What a way to finish the night by inviting our brilliant
So
winner.
we welcome them now to do their lap of honour. Cassidy's been bursting to do this now. Fantastic, fantastic evening. We cannot wait to watch along tomorrow for the freestyle and see these 3 and the other 11 riders battle it out for those points for a top place in the standings of the Western European League. So make sure you join us back here for the FEI Dressage World Cup Freestyle presented by Echo. It starts tomorrow, 6:30 Central European Time. So make sure you join us back here on Clip My Horse TV or FEI TV. Can Catherine do it again? Can she be the winner of the freestyle? We cannot wait to see. But from me, Natasha Baker, that's it for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed watching along. Make sure you join us back 6:30 tomorrow evening, Central European Time, for more incredible dressage.
Tusind tak, mine damer og herrer. Det er altså magisk her i boksen, når det hele det er ved at blive taget af. Det var meget, meget flot klasse, vi havde her i dag i denne World Cup. Vi er tilbage i morgen med World Cup Grand Prix Kyr, så velkommen tilbage i morgen til endnu mere flot ridning her i boksen.
Well, if you thought you had a treat here tonight, what about tomorrow night? What a stage has been set for the freestyle to music competition here for the FEI World Cup. First qualifying round, have a safe journey home. We hope to see as many of you as possible back here tomorrow.